Hey everybody, it's Dan Sims with Success by Day, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something from this book by Richard Dawkins, The Selfish Gene. In Chapter 10, Dawkins is talking about the difference between altruism and selfishness, which is obviously a main theme in this book. He's talking specifically about birds who give warning calls, and he's considering whether or not that's an altruistic trait. He says, the first theory I call the cave theory. This theory is suitable for camouflage birds that crouch frozen in the undergrowth when danger threatens. Suppose a flock of such birds is feeding in a field. A hawk flies past in the distance. He has not yet seen the flock, and he is not flying directly towards them, but there is a danger that his keen eyes will spot them at any moment and he will race into the attack. Suppose one member of the flock sees the hawk, but the rest have not yet done so. This one sharp-eyed individual could immediately freeze and crouch in the grass, but this would do him little good because his companions are still walking around conspicuously and noisily, because they haven't seen the hawk yet. Any one of them could attract the hawk's attention, and then the whole flock is in peril. From a purely selfish point of view, the best policy for the individual who spots the hawk first is to hiss a quick warning to his companions, and so shut them up and reduce the chance that they will inadvertently summon the hawk into his own vicinity. So this is a really interesting book because when I talk about success on my blog and on videos and in emails, a lot of the time people bring up whether or not shooting for massive success is selfish. You know, there's always going to be the argument that the people who have earned tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars, or any amount of money really that's above the average, there's always going to be that argument that they have, one, gotten there by exploiting others, and two, that they're selfish for having accumulated so much and for not sharing it all. And that argument kind of baffles me, because I always wonder, if that person earns it, then why shouldn't they enjoy it? And no one earns money and keeps it by exploiting people. It just doesn't happen. I know that's going to be probably a little controversial, but that's my opinion. But the point is, when you are working towards success, when you are becoming an entrepreneur or pitching your product to people or anything really, there are going to be people that you pass along the way. When you're working your way to the top, there are always going to be people in between you and the top. And you're going to have to pass them, and whether or not that's selfish or altruistic, I think, is a point that Dawkins makes in the book. I think the main point is that something that seems selfish is not necessarily selfish, and something that seems altruistic, like the bird hissing the warning, is not necessarily altruistic. It's difficult to define the difference between selfishness and altruism, especially because altruism is a purely philosophical idea. I know I got a little off topic, but the point is to make the distinction between selfishness and altruism. In Lessons of History by Will and Ariel Durant, they mention that working together, altruism, is actually a means to competition. If you want to break it down to the evolutionary level, we are built to compete in everything that we do, and all animals are. And they postulate that working together with a group is only a means to defeat another group, to raise yourself along with others. And I think that that is the most important thing to take from this, is that when you are working to the top, there are two ways of doing it. One is to raise other people with you, which is respectable, honorable, noble. And I think that's going to, people are going to see you progressing toward the top. And if they see you dragging people with you, that's going to be good for you. In a selfish way. But you know what? Selfishness gets you places sometimes. And the second way to move to the top is to push other people down in order to get above them. That's going to come and, quite frankly, bite you in the ass. So that's your Success by Day for today. I hope that was helpful and not too confusing. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I'll also leave a link in the description to this book. It's a really, really good book. A little long and somewhat philosophical and deep at some points, but it's definitely accessible for everybody. So that's your Success by Day for today. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you next time.